Good evening. Welcome to the joint meeting of the village and the town for our informational meeting for this year's town and village meeting. For those of you that might not know me, my name is Chris Leach. I'm a village trustee, and I have the great duty and the honor to fill in for Neil Spear, who he and his wife are vacationing to see their grandkids, and more power to them. In order logistically tonight to open our meeting, both the village and the town need to open their meetings officially. We'll do that now, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I declare the meeting of the village trustees to be open.
So moved.
All right. I'll call the select board.
Can't hear it.
What's that?
I don't know. Somebody said they couldn't hear. Must be Zoom. Calling the select board meeting to order here for the informational meeting on Tuesday, February 28th at the Village Complex.
Very good. So we're officially open. Now I would like to ask everyone to stand and remove your hats and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
a quick comment about the pledge. My 44 years as an engineer, and I got to travel a lot of the world, and this is the greatest nation there ever was. It's way ahead of whatever's in second place. Our freedoms and our ability to govern ourselves is second to none, and that flag is our symbol. With that, we'll start with the reading of the annual warning by the village manager, excuse me, the town manager, Brian Savage.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Chris. And thank you all for coming out on such a nice spring night. It's my pleasure to read the annual warning. The legal voters of the town of Swanton, who are legal voters in the town meeting, are hereby notified and warned to meet at the Swanton Village Municipal Complex, 1st and Elm Street, Swanton, on Tuesday, March the 7th, 2023 at 7 a.m. to vote on the articles herein set forth. All articles are to be voted by the Australian ballot system. The polls are open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. Article 1, to elect from the legal voters of Subtown the following officers. Moderator, a term of 1 year. One town clerk for a 3-year term. One town treasurer for a 3-year term. One select person for a 3-year term. One select person for a 2-year term. One lister for a 3-year term. One auditor for a 3-year term. One trustee of public money for a 3-year term. One trustee of public money for a 1-year unexpired term. One library trustee for a 5-year term. One library trustee for a 4-year unexpired term. One cemetery commissioner for a 5-year term. One cemetery commissioner for a 2-year unexpired term, and a collector of delinquent taxes. Article 2, shall the town appropriate $1,275,656.34 for the operation and maintenance of the town highway department. Article 3, shall the town appropriate $278,225 for fire protection. Article 4, shall the town appropriate $196,784.08 to provide police protection to the residents of the town of Swanton. Shall the town, Article 5, shall the town appropriate $663,450.42 for the town general expenses. Article 6, shall the town appropriate $175,382.39 toward the maintenance and employee benefits of the Swanton Public Library. Article 7, shall the town appropriate $67,490 toward the operating budget of the Swanton Public Library. Article 8, Shall the town collect its real and personal property taxes to defray the expenses of the town for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2023, and annually thereafter by its actual receipt of payment. Postmarks will not be accepted at the town offices by 5 p.m. on October 15th, or if the 15th shall fall on a weekend or holiday, the following business day by 5 p.m., with an 8% penalty and a 1% interest per month or portion thereof due thereon for the first 3 months, and 1.5% per month or portion thereof thereafter to be charged for late payment of any installment. Article 9, shall the town appropriate $199,245 to provide rescue services to the town of Swanton? And Article 10, shall the town appropriate $123,247.24 towards the operating and maintenance budget of the Recreation Department? The legal voters of the town of Swanton are further notified that an informational meeting will be held at the Swanton Village Complex at 120 First Street, Swanton, Vermont on Tuesday, February 28, 2023 at 7 p.m. in person and via Zoom for the purpose of explaining all budget items to the voters. Anyone desiring to participate and listen in on the meeting by cell or landline phone should dial 1-646-558-8656. and enter a meeting ID number 828-6169-4256 when prompted, and announce your name. And then to join the Zoom meeting online on your computer, there's a link provided. And actually this, and the official warning is not the correct link. The correct link is on our website along with the passcode. This is the warning was dated and signed at Swanton, Vermont, the 31st day of January 2023 by James Gilmet, Chair of the Board of Selectmen. Select Board, Stephen Bourgeois, member, Nicole Draper, member, Edward A. White, Sr., and Earl Fournier, dated and filed the 31st day of January 2023, attested to by Kathy L. Fournier, Town Clerk. And now, I'll quickly introduce the table of your town officers. Right here, right off, is Chairman of the Board of Select Board is James Gilnet, followed by Earl Fournier, who's the Vice Chair, Nicole Draper, Steve Bourgeois, and then our Town Clerk and Treasurer, Kathy Fournier. Now, before we get into the business at hand, I'd like to ask the Vice Chair to come up just for a moment. And then ask the Chair to come up because we have a little something to give.
We want to recognize our chair tonight for his years of service to the community. A lot of things have been going on in Swanton over the years that he's been on the board, and he's been a big part of it. You know, the decision to help leader evaporators turned out to be a real good one for the town of Swanton. He certainly has done a lot with the road department, and he was very committed to serving the people of Swanton. So I would like to present this plaque to him tonight. That hand is glued on.
Looks like
The town of Swanton, in grateful appreciation of James G. Gilmet for the dedicated service to the community as a member of the Select Board from 2014 to 2016, and 2019 member, 2017 Vice Chair, 2018, and from 2020 to 2023 as Chair. And so on behalf of the community of Swanton, James, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great honor to serve the town the past almost 10 years. So, thank you very much. And I've never had to use that gavel in 10 years, so. I guess my mouth is big enough.
So now.
Yeah. Now I can do the rest. All right.
So I'll put that back in the bottle.
Okay, that'd be perfect. Good evening, folks. You all know who I am now, so. Oh, I need the clicker over there. Let's see if I can mess that up. Bear with me, I'm gonna try to do two things at once here, so.
Hang on, let me get it started for you.
Oh, that helped.
There you go.
There we go. You said just click the arrow, right?
Yeah.
I ain't moving.
Oh. Hang on.
You give me too many things.
No, I just,
They're not turned on.
I didn't turn it on.
Oh, that would help.
Use the gavel.
You're right.
Use the gavel.
Yeah, I don't have one, it's over there. There we go. Yep. Perfect.
Sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. I get to the first part. There we go. 2022 Swanton highlights. In gratitude, it's throughout all the hard work and dedications of dozens of individuals who serve our community on various boards and commissions and positions that make Swanton thrive in the community to live and work and run a business and raise a family in. It's with pleasure the Select Board to dedicate the 2022 Town Report to our elected and appointed officials, members of the community who serve in the community in a variety of capacity, presently, as well as all those who have served in the past. Thank you very much for all of you that have done it and do it and continue to do it. Oh, sure, just push the button.
All right, let me do this for you.
How about you move it, it'll be easier. There we go.
You just wink, I may not move it.
All right. After the 2022 annual town meeting, our select board consisted of a chair, James Gilmet, vice chair, Mark Rushell, Nicole Draper, Ed White, and Earl Fournier. In September of 2022, Mark Rushell resigned from the board due to personal reasons. He served the community well and is appreciate his contribution to the select board. Thank you, Mark. Steve Bourgeois, a resident of Calm Shore Road, was appointed to fill the seat and vacated by Mark Rushell. We welcome Steve to the board and enjoy working with him. Thank you, Steve. Picture of our museum. In September, our select board chair, James Gilman, announced that he will not seek re-election in March. James has served as close to 10 years on the board, as he served the chair for 4 of those years. James has also served on the as the highway commissioner and has spent many hours working with issues of the highway, involved the entire town government. Thank you, James. A memorandum of understanding with the FDIC that will provide 8 hours per week of time for Elizabeth Nance to provide economic development work will be discontinued on March 31st, 2023. The economic development duties have been expanded for our town administrator to facilitate and make this expansion role more efficient. A new full-time administrative assistant position has been developed and is expected to be posted in the very near future. A new joint website with the village and town is in its early stages of development, and a contract has been signed with how do you pronounce that? EcoPixel of Essex Junction to develop the site. Locally, the project will be managed by the village manager and the town administrator. It is expected that the new website will be online sometime this summer. It'll be a great asset. The drainage issues that we've been having with the fieldstone basement of the town building offices was repaired early 2022. The roof on the west wing of the Swanton Public Library was replaced along with repairs to the slate on the original building this past November. It was also determined that the heating and cooling system of the Swanton Public Library needed to be replaced, and that has been slated to occur this spring. Last summer, the select board passed a new ATV ordinance that allows the operations of ATVs on town highways from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. April 1st to December 1st. This has been well received with no reports and complaints. At the select board meeting on February 7th, 2023, the ordinance has been amended to allow this year to open the roads year-round from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. This will be effective by May 1st of this year. This is not for all town roads. This is for all town roads located outside the village. A major culvert replacement was completed this summer of 2022 on the P.E.G Road. The work was completed by Goodhue Excavation and was partially funded by a grant received from the state of Vermont, with the remaining portion funded in the 2022 budget. The grant was received from the state of Vermont to complete the resurface into the P.E.G Road and was completed in early fall. Late summer, we discovered a large culvert had begun to sink on Macomb Shore Road in approximately a half-mile north of Janes Road, which was an emergency repair and was completed in early December. During the 2022, the town of Swanton received an once-in-a-lifetime appropriation of $1,249,211.88 from the federal government under the American Rescue Plan, ARPA funds. Public input was used for these funds and has been solicited, and we will continue to do so going forward. For the following projects have had funds committed from the ARPA monies. Rec Commission was set aside $600,000 for the new rec/community center proposed. Lamoille Valley Railhead matching $90,000 grant for the work there. Library heating and AC system replacement of $59,680. The following projects have had funds used. Video conference system of $10,000, and that was for the town offices for our Zoom and to make our meetings much easier. Library roof was $19,357.48. And the remaining funds available are $470,174. Swanton Animal Control Officer is Jim Benson. He can be reached at his phone by 802-238-3246 or by his email, which is available on our website, town website. The ACO only deals with dog issues. The ACO does not accept dogs that are no longer wanted by their owners. Cats or other animals are not handled by the ACO. After the resigning Rosita Smith as a town health officer, Amber LaFountain was appointed by the Vermont Department of Health upon recommendation to the Select Board as a town health officer. She can be reached at 802-324-7674 or her email. Swanton projects for 2023. Work on a solution for the culvert situation on the Berry Road, which was damaged from the Halloween storm we had a couple of years ago. Improvements to the Swanton Hill Road. Continue to seek and apply for grants for the town highway improvements. Start renumbering the streets and roads to bring the town into compliance with the E911 standards. Continue economic development efforts with the continuation of the Southern Growth District. In partnership with the village, continue to work with the downtown revitalization. Continue to design and construct the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail railhead. Continue the development of the proposed rec and community center by the Swanton Recreation Commission for a possible vote on town meeting day in 2024. Continue for cleanup of the former town garage site on 4th Street, redevelopment into the rec fields. Redesign and engineer work continued for the sidewalk to MVU, along with the right-of-way easements. Hopefully it will go out to bid by late 2023 and construction in 2024. All right, budget summaries. Total general budget is $1,180,051.79. To be raised by taxes would be $942.66. Total highway budget is $1,905,700 $1,065.42. To be raised by taxes would be $1,750,665.42. The library budget is $213,097. The library appropriations is $67,490. To be raised by taxes would be $242,782.39. General budget, if all articles are approved, $1,180,051.79. To be raised by taxes would be $985,942.66. The 2023 projected tax rate would be 0.1398. The 2022 tax rate was 0.1267. The 2023 tax rate increase of 0.0131. Remember to vote next Tuesday, March 7th, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. here at the Village Complex. Highway budgets, if all articles approved, $1,902,765.42. To be raised by taxes would be $1,750,605.42. 2023 projected tax rate would be 0.3238. The 2022 tax rate would be 0.2707. And the 2023 tax rate increase of 0.0531. If both articles are approved, for library budget with $280,587. To be raised by tax would be $242,782.39. The 2023 projected tax rate would be 0.0349. The tax rate would be, the 2022 tax rate was 0.0356, and the 2023 tax rate decrease of 0.0007. 2023 tax projection. So the general, the town would be 0.1398. The village would be 0.1398. That would be the same. The highway under the town would be 0.3238. No village. Library would be, for the town, would be 0.0349. And the village would be 0.0349. The total would, for the town would be 0.4985, and the village would be 0.1747. Please note that the tax rate is based on the 2022 grand list. The 2023 grand list is not available till midsummer. The town 2023 tax projections, estimated municipal tax. On an assessed value, an assessed value of $150,000 in the town would be $747.75. In the village, that would be $262.05. On a $200,000 assessed value, the town would be $997, and the village would be $349.40. On an assessed value of $250,000, the town would be $1,246.25. The village would be $436.75. Candidates for office. Town moderator, vote no more than 1 year for Brian Savage, 1-year term. Town clerk, vote for no more than one for 1 3-year term, Kathy L. Funyer. Town treasurer, vote no more than one for a 3-year term, Kathy L. Funyer. Select board, vote no more than one for a 3-year term, Steve Bourgeois or Jennifer Yandel. Candidates for office, select person, vote no more than one for a 2-year term, Nicholas Brousseau or Cody Hemingway. Listers, vote for no more than one for a 3-year term, Amy Giro. Auditor, vote for no more than 1 year for a 3-year term, Amy Giro. Trustees of public money, vote no more than one for a 3-year term, Cody Hemingway. And there's a Trustees of public money for 1 year unexpired, that is empty, so someone could run as a write-in if they're interested. Library trustee, vote for no more than one for a 5-year term, Sarah Garvey. Library trustee, vote no more than one for a 4-year unexpired term, and I'm gonna kill that name, is Bianca, how do you spell last name? Brahman. All right, Bianca Brahman. Cemetery Commission, vote for no more than one for a 5-year term, and that is open. No one's running for that seat. Cemetery Commission, vote for no more than one 3-year unexpired, and that, the first name is John, how do you spell the last name, or pronounce it? Kalekowski, okay. And Macy Lavoie Dupont. You got one more. Yeah, collector of delinquent taxes, vote no more than one for 1-year term, Betty Cheney. Vote March 7th, next Tuesday, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. here at the Village Complex, or ask for an absentee ballot. I think that's it. Any questions on all that I just read? We'll start with that. Do we want to give the candidates the time to speak now, or?
If they would like.
Okay. All right. Usually we open the floor to the candidates one at a time. No certain order, doesn't matter to me who wants to go first. If you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Hi, I'm Cody Hemingway. I'm running for the 2-year term for Select Board. Just a dad of 2, born and raised in Swanton. Family's been in Swanton for years. Hoping to bring like a younger perspective to the board. I was raised with common sense and integrity, and I think that's pretty important in any town government. I'm kind of an observer by nature, so I like to sit back and kind of look at things first without kind of going in too much too quick, you know. So hopefully I see everybody else here to vote on Tuesday. Thanks.
Okay. Macy?
I'm Macy Lavoie Dupont, and I'm running for the spot on the Cemetery Commission. I'm really excited to step away from my role as coaching and serving more of my community on something I've never done. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I look forward to your support on March 7th.
Okay.
Nick Grosso was on.
I did see Nick was on there. Yeah. Go ahead if he wants to speak.
Hello, my name is, actually, I'm off mute.
Yeah, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. So, my name is Nick Frusto. I'm a lifelong Swanton resident. I'm running for select board because I want to, I feel like I'm well qualified to be on the select board. I've been on the Swanton Historical Society, Swanton Chamber of Commerce. And I've been involved in local government as a justice of peace and on the Cemetery Commission. And I feel like this is the next good step to get involved. I'm hoping to bring change to Swanton in terms of using like money, like the ARPA money to help develop a child care center in the community, and hoping to get that project from MVU, a sidewalk from MVU to the village. Hopefully, I'll push for that to actually get done. So I'm hoping to bring change to Swanton, and lifelong resident, graduated from MVU, graduated from Johnson State College, and I also will bring a young voice to the select board. So thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Anybody else on Zoom that we have? I don't know who's on there, but no. Okay. Any other candidates want to speak? Yes. Oh God, I almost forgot about you, Steve. Sorry. Apologize.
Anyway, my name is Steve Bourgeois. I'm a native of Swanton. Was raised right over here on 4th Street, and now I lived on the Hog, Hog Island for 45 years, and now we live on McClellan Shore. So I've never had to leave Swanton, and I was pretty fortunate that we've been able to stay in this area. I've enjoyed my brief tenure on the select board as for being appointed. Find it pretty interesting. I've never dealt with municipal government. I've dealt with other things. I've got a 52-year banking career. I've got a lot of experience in financial management and management overall, member of many local and state boards, and I'd like to bring that expertise to the select board, so I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. All good? Kathy, you good, or?
I can say something. I'm running unopposed. So I'd like to thank everyone in the past who's voted for me, and I love what I do, and I want to continue doing it for the next 3 years. And I just want to thank everybody for the support, and the community is a great community to help and work in.
All right, thank you. All right.
Sandy has some.
Sandy, yes?
So, my name is Sandy Skills Kilburn, and I'm not running for anything.
You're not?
No. Jenny Endo, who couldn't be here tonight, asked me to read this statement for her.
Okay.
So Jen Yando has asked me to speak on her behalf this evening. She is running for an open select board seat for the town of Swanton. Her family and friends are as important to her as this community. That is why she is not here in person tonight. She has a gathering which has been planned for months with friends and family who no longer live locally. Change is often not easy and can be uncomfortable. Going with the flow, now that is easy. However, the easy option may not be the best option. Status quo is not necessarily looking into the future, which could result in the loss of opportunity for Swanton. We are poised to see some amazing opportunities that we may not want to miss. Being a part of those changes and capturing those opportunities is something Jen is very passionate about. She speaks of her desire to see more families move into our community and enjoy this special area of Vermont where she grew up, where people support people and kids can be kids. The Swanton that we have to offer today and the future Swanton that is coming should be one of family values, morals, where making choices are thought out at a human level. We are fortunate to have amazing volunteers serving on many different boards. Jen serves currently on the Development Review Board. She sees passion in those eyes as they look into the future of Swanton. Together, we can continue to move Swanton to the future. Together, a simple word that can mean so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think that's it. Anybody else got any questions? We're all good. We'll turn it over to the village then. All right, it's all yours, Chris.
Okay, thank you very much, very good. Now let's proceed to the village, but I would first like to introduce our board and all of our officials. First off, Eugene LeBombard is feeling under the weather and has been for a couple of days, and we certainly wish him well, one of our trustees, and he is not able to be with us this evening. But he's a great guy, and you see him around town. Adam Paxman, village trustee. Reg Bellow, our outgoing village manager, and if you'll notice on the back sheet of our warning, of the booklet, there's a very nice write-up. His 11 years is outstanding, and sitting right next to him is Bill Sheets, our new manager. Again, a local boy, knows our community, outstanding resume. You spend 5 minutes talking to him and you'll know why we picked him. He's a good guy. Lynn Paradis, our assistant manager, and I call her our comptroller. She's the money wizard. She really knows what she's doing. Then, of course, our police chief, Matt. I'm losing my mind here.
Sullivan.
Matt Sullivan. Sorry, Matt. And again, he's a relatively new police chief, but a wonderful addition. We're one of the few police departments that's fully manned around here. And that's a lot to do with his ability to bring in the quality troops. And next to him is our fire chief. I'm losing my mind again. Jason Cross. Again, our fire department serves the village and the town, does a wonderful job. They're well equipped, they're a dedicated group, and we really appreciate them. Now, the Village of Swanton Annual Warning. The voters of the Village of Swanton are hereby warned and notified to meet at the Swanton Village Complex, 120 First Street, Swanton, Vermont on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023 at 7 a.m. to vote on the articles set forth. All articles are to be voted by Australian ballot. The polls are open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. Article number 1, to elect from the legal voters of said village the following officers: a president for 1 year. Of course, Neil will be running again. A trustee for 3 years. Adam is running again. A clerk for 1 year. That's Diane Day. And a collector of delinquent taxes, Betty Cheney, and she's sitting right back here, again for 1 year. Article 2, shall the voters of the Village of Swanton appropriate $138,985 for the operation and maintenance of a general fund for 2023. Article 3, shall the voters of the Village of Swanton appropriate $575,035 for the operation and maintenance of the Highway Department for 2023. Article 4, shall the voters of the Village of Swanton appropriate $87,861 for the operation and maintenance of the Fire Department for 2023. Shall the voters, Article 5, shall the voters of the Village of Swanton appropriate $852,990 for the operation and maintenance of our police department for 2023. Shall the voters of the Village of Swanton authorize the Board of Trustees to place surplus funds in the police department as anticipated to be $61,200 into a capital fund for future purposes. Article 7, shall the voters of the village authorize the Board of Trustees to place surplus funds in the general department anticipated to be $11,900 into a capital fund for future municipal complex and park upgrades. Article number 8, shall the voters of the Village of Swanton authorize the Board of Trustees to place surplus funds in the fire department as anticipated to be $10,250 into a capital fund for future purposes. The legal voters of the Village of Swanton are further notified of an informational meeting to be held Tuesday, February 28, 2023 at 7 p.m. in person or via Zoom for the purpose of explaining the budget to all items and voters. Again, we're here, so the call-in number is probably. This is dated in Swanton, Vermont on the 30th day of January 2023. Signed by President Neil Spear, Trustee Chris Leach, Trustee Eugene LeBombard, Trustee Adam Paxman. Received and filed on 30th day of January 2023, Diane Day, Village Clerk. Now, if you have any questions, please state your name, and we have the people here that can answer your questions.
Go through the budget.
Yep. Bill has a presentation.
Actually, my friend Reggie has a presentation. I have a short presentation.
Okay.
So this is, I gotta get the pointer, see if I have any better luck than. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I think this has got to be the 5th year. I think we've been gathering together as 2 boards. Yeah, so this is great. After COVID, having everybody in the audience, and this is wonderful, I'll tell you. So this year, the annual report, we dedicated it to Scott Mueller, who died tragically in a motorcycle accident. He was in our maintenance department. And in the back of page, the cover, you'll see that one of our attorneys, our FERC attorney, Paul Nolan, had started a scholarship fund, which the trustees had added money to that for high school students. And Bill has been working pretty diligently with MVU to try to see if we can't acquire a summer intern for that scholarship. So that's an amazing thing. That's really good. So when you get a chance, please read that. And this is, one thing I look at, how the town dedicated their report to the volunteers of the community. We also dedicated our report to the employees. All during COVID, these employees made sure that all the services were met for all of the residents in Swanton and in the town, including the lights. So the people behind the scenes are the ones that make this community work the way it does. You can have a manager, you have a good board, but it's the people behind the scenes that make us look good. The volunteers in the fire department and the police department. I mean, that's what makes this community the great place that it is today. So, let's see here, make sure I get my notes. So this will be my last presentation as an official village manager. And yes, you can clap, because I am happy about it. Asking for it, right? But one Swanton, I hear that a lot. What does that mean? So I've heard people use it wrongly. I've heard people use it to pass their own agendas off. And I'm going to tell you what the real story is behind one Swanton, how did that came from. Years ago, we had a community visit where the Agency on Commerce and Community Development came in, and we had a community visit. Joel Clark and Neil Spears sat up in front of about 75 people and said that we have 2 functioning governments today that can work together as one to better all of Swanton. And we've already presented some articles in the presentation from the town, how the town works together closely with Swanton. And in our presentation, you'll hear some examples of how our public works work well together. So here we are again today, 2 boards working together as one for the benefit of all of Swanton. Not just the village and not just the town, one Swanton. Okay. So I'm going to refer to Bill on this, please, because you're the one that developed this sheet, but I'll preface it and then you can add color if you'd like. But so the purpose of this slide is just basically to present what staff members are within the community.
Well, I guess I'm presenting earlier than I thought. So here's what struck me when I first came in from the outside. It's truly an enterprise, and with all due respect to the one Swanton, I was just amazed. It's 37 full-time employees, $12,044,000 budget, 9 direct reports, just a tremendous amount of people doing tremendous work. This visualizes it for me. I honestly don't think the vast majority of our voters in the village in particular who vote on our budget realize what's going on here. And a lot of it's due to this guy. Right back to him. Go.
He's so much fun to work with. Okay, so now I'm going to be turning this over to Lynn, and she's going to go through the numbers. This is her expertise. And I'm going to give you the pointer. Do you want me to give you the pointer, or you just want me to click when you're ready? Okay, go ahead.
So these are the proposed tax rates for 2022 versus 2023, based on a grand list from 2022, because as the town stated, we don't have the 2023 grand list yet. So the general fund is seeing a tax rate that's going to go down slightly from 0.0899 to a proposed tax rate of 0.0843. And that is due to We've done a slight reduction in the parks labor to closer reflect where we actually have the costs. So the Public Works is the one that they mow the parks, but they also do the water and sewer lines. They also plow the streets. So when I'm developing the budgets each year, I'm looking at where we're spending that money and move the budget amounts. Obviously, where they actually work is where it actually gets coded through the year, but I move the budgets to kind of reflect where we look like we're gonna be spending that money. The fire department tax rate is proposed to go from .0505 to .0532. And that is an increase in the equipment maintenance budget for 2023. And they have requested that we increase the equipment replacement fund line item. The police department is going from a proposed tax rate of .4655 to .5168. We have an increase in salaries and benefits. We're needing to stay competitive with neighboring agencies. As Chris said earlier, we're fully staffed, but we're minimally staffed. So we don't want to lose officers to another neighboring agency, so we're needing to stay competitive. And we're also an increase in the lease expense line item for a cruiser that we purchased last year. And in the highway department, we're looking at a tax rate going from .3427 to .3484, and that's an increase in salaries and benefits. Next slide. One thing I didn't say on that one is it's a change in the tax rate of .0541. So this is what the actual and proposed tax bill would be. So if you have a $175,000 house, you paid $1,660.05 for 2022, and it would be increasing to $1,754.72, which is a $94.67 increase. On a $200,000 house, it would be going from $1,897.20 to $2,005.40 for an increase of $108.20. And a $250,000 house would be going from $2,371.50 to $2,506.75 for an increase of $135.25. So this is the breakdown by department. So on a $175,000 house, you would see an increase in the general, you would see a tax rate breakdown of $147.52 on your tax bill. Fire would be $93.10, police is $904.40, and highway is $609.70 to come up with that $1,754.72. A $200,000 house would be costing you $168.60. Fire would be $106.40, police is $1,033.60, and highway is $696.80 for a price of $2,005.40. And a $250,000 house for the general fund is $210.75. Fire is $133, police is $1,292, and highway is $871, for a total of $2,506.75. So this is a schedule that we receive from Vermont Public Power Supply periodically through the year. There are consultants for the electric departments. This is in numeric order from lowest to most expensive electric bills in the state of Vermont. So as you can see in the bold, Swanton is the third cheapest electric rates for both the 600 and the 1,000 kilowatt residential household. That's about an average. 600 is what they say is the state average for a residential. The territories around us are Vermont Electric Co-op and Green Mountain Power. They're way at the bottom. So for you village or anybody that's served by Swanton Electric, your $86.21 electric bill would cost a Vermont Electric Co-op customer $126.67, and a Green Mountain Power customer $130.70.
So one thing I'll just add on this to make note, our Swanton Electric is 100% renewable. So what we don't produce in hydro, we purchase power from renewable resources as well. Other hydros McNeil, we have purchase power from them as well. So for a realtor, when you're trying to sell properties in Swanton and people are into the green thing, they are receiving 100% renewable resources. Vermont Precision Tools, they can get precedent when they're selling their product because they're receiving their energy from 100% renewable resources. So that's something to be proud of here in Swanton.
So this is just reiterating we're the third lowest rates in Vermont. Currently, most of the electric utilities in Vermont are filing for rate increases. Most of them, a lot of them are double-digit rate increases. VEPSA will be reviewing our rates this summer to see if a rate case is needed. And that's a process I have them do pretty much every year. I had them look at it last August. We did not need a rate increase. So we move forward. Every year, I have them do that. And like Reggie said, we're proud to share that our electricity is 100% renewable. You care about this environment, and so do we. Community is the heart of Swanton Electric. And then, so the other two enterprise funds that we have are water and wastewater. Their bill rates are reviewed annually during the budget building process. For 2023, we've determined that an adjustment to the water and wastewater rates are not needed. So in the electric is the bulk. They're about $7 million of our $12 million budget. What's driving their increases this year is an increase in purchase power. That's going up about $150,000. We've increased tree trimming. As we're getting more storms, we spend historically about $80,000 on tree trimming with outside crews, plus our crew. This year, we're budgeting to go up to $100,000. We try to keep our lines roadside as much as we can so they're easier to trim. And then we're increasing salary and benefits so that we can stay competitive. And our fees are increasing with Vermont Public Power Supply for our consultants. The water department is seeing an increase in salaries and benefits. And in our wastewater fund, there's a decrease in depreciation expense because our plant is pretty much fully depreciated. We do have an increase in chemicals from cost increases, and there's an increase in salaries and benefits.
Is there any questions on that? So I'll go back a couple slides. I will try to go back. So when we talk about Vermont Public VEPSA, Vermont Public Power Supply Authority, that is a joint action agency that there are 11 other municipally owned public power utilities that are part of VEPSA. And what they do for us is they help us with the purchase power, they'll help us with rate cases, they help us with legislative. I mean, we have brought in 3 bills that VEPSA has brought into the legislature that we have passed because of our joint action agency and the work that they've done in the State House. So it's really good stuff. I mean, we pay into VEPSA, but we couldn't do it alone with the staff that we got. I mean, it would be like the 3 of us right now. And I was chairman for VEPSA for, I don't remember.
Probably 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
And I've served as treasurer of VEPSA for several years.
Yeah. Linda's been associated what?
I've been associated with VEPSA for 28 years between my work here and for the municipal electric I worked for prior to coming to Swanton.
So as I step down as village manager, I'm no longer on the board of VEPSA, so now Bill is on the board.
1 total month of experience on the board. Just wanted, they're throwing out numbers, I'm going to do it too. Good luck.
Thank you. I just can't keep a straight face in the room. Okay, 2022 year review. The water treatment plant. I mean, this was brand new. This was upgraded in 2012. The only repairs basically we've been doing so far here is a lot of exterior work, just trying to keep trees trimmed, ditches maintained and stuff. We did have to repair a few years ago the two water filters for some reason. I don't know, they had a problem with them. We got them fixed. Scott did an excellent job when he was here. So they're running very, very well. So one of the activities we have going on now, we want to thank the voters for passing that bond of $1.2 million, but it's the water line that's going to go under Missisquoi. So back in 2018, when we had the flooding happen, the ice was like 5 feet from the bottom of the bridge. One side's Vermont Gas, the other side's our main water line coming into the village. So Eugene LeBombard has always said, He said, we got to have a redundant line, we need a redundant line. That'll be happening this spring. And it's going to go down Webster Terrace, bore underneath the river, come up where the boat launch is, and go down Foundry Street and reconnect there on just before Depot, Merchants Row, on the other side of the bridge. And that, the water line is the one hanging on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Bridge right now. The wastewater plant, this report's pretty similar that you've seen in the past few years. We're still going through the total maximum loads that the TMDLs that we got to reduce, the phosphorus loads going into Lake Champlain. We can do it chemically, it's just not feasible because chemicals are expensive. We did have 3 vendors come in, and Blue Pro filters were chosen. We're going to have to go into a bond to make this happen. If we go in within the next couple of years for a bond for this upgrade, you won't see payments for another 2 years possibly. So we're talking maybe 26, 27 before we start making payments on this upgrade to this plant. So just keep that in mind when you see bonds coming in. Payments aren't instantaneous on these things. Public Works, we've done some paving. Winters Court was done. And those of you who live on Winters Court, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Yeah, I mean, we try to, Dean, usually in the springtime, Dean says, hey, I gotta get these projects. We usually take a road trip and we go around, and that's how we determine which streets we need. And then a lot of our walkers got to say, hey, some of the sidewalks are poor, and we try to replace as much of these sidewalks as we can. Total about 320 feet of sidewalks we replaced this year. Another 24 feet of broken sections, but the crosswalk on 4th Street where the old town garage was, the kids, that was an unsafe area, so we redid this one. So that looks really nice now, and the crossing guards are really happy. That's the one by the town garage and the rail trail. So it's a nice sidewalk there. New main line valves are installed, so you saw this summer, we dug a couple, Cody was out there helping us do this, big test pits, find out where the mains are so we could go ahead and put in some insertion valves. Basically, one of the biggest problems in the village is that they're old valving, and it's hard to close them because of the tuberculation, or they're just getting rusty. So one of the things we did, we put in these insertion valves so we can isolate certain sections of the village rather than shutting the whole village down. So we put in 6. I think we have plans for another 6 this year. Bike repair station down the Swanton Beach. I believe the town has another one as well. We haven't gotten that one installed yet. Okay. That one, we should help out and get that installed. And there was other projects that we worked on with the town. Wheeler Round was repaved by the town. We went in, worked with the town, raised the structures, coordinated with them. And again, it's another example of these guys work together. They don't come and tell us, hey, we're going to go work with the town today to help them do this. Just get it done. That's all we need to know. Just get it done. Let the taxpayers be happy to see the good results. Easy peasy. Electric department. The electric crew continues to maintain reliable lines in the conditions Lynn talked about, our tree trimming. One of the things that we're able to get in the legislature was the AMI funding. We're going to receive, the project is about $1 million. You're going to see better than 40% to help fund that. 38%? Okay. I'm horrible with numbers, just so you guys know. So one of the things with this project is it is mandated, or basically it's dictated by the state, that we need to go to AMI because of the move for electrification, more so in the utilities. So it was either, we just had to do it, plain and simple. So with this funding that we got, it's going to help offset that. Upgrades, we're going to continue to do pole replacement and conductor size upgrades because of the electrification needs. Also, mutual aid, our guys were out during Christmas again. They missed Christmas, New Year's with their families. They were out helping restore power in Enosburg. The hydro plant relicensing is continuing. I've got like 9 pages, and Bill begged me not to read it. So basically, all I'm going to tell you is we started this in 2016. This is 2023. We got April of 24 to get our license. And it's an arduous process of multiple meetings, multiple discussions with our agencies. Long story short on this, I've seen write-ups that we were going to, we have to tear that dam down, tear this dam down, do this, do that. Call us, we can tell you the truth, instead of reading the BS that happens on Facebook. But anyway, Our license, FERC will give us our license. The only thing that we're going to need to get qualified is the state's 401's water quality certificate. That's what they're arguing with us on. They want certain stipulations like run of river, which means we can't pond, which means we can't take our peaks. So when you guys are waking up in the morning, we see a peak. Everybody's taking showers, doing whatever, we see a peak. So that's when we start generating more, so that our pond is kinetic energy, right? You got all this water sitting there behind it, people are waking up, let's run. Get it going through. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's coming home, we see another peak. So during the day, we're ponding, and at night, we start running again. Now everybody's home, that's the time that we're producing more electricity. We're keeping those peaks balanced, so we don't have to go out and buy expensive power out on the market, extra. We have it there. The agencies are trying to make us no more ponding. Run a river. That will increase our expenses over the life of our license by $6 million roughly, I believe it was. We're fighting that, and I will fight that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still here, because I'm fighting this battle. The hydro team right now, people would say this was a dry year. We actually overproduced our driest year in 2019, this year. And we actually got money back, right? So that's a good thing. Dan Chevalier is doing a fantastic job with the team that he has up there, working with Bill and I. We've hired some fantastic people, and yeah, they're just, it's a competition up there, so who can make the most electricity, see who can pond the most. So it's pretty cool. They did some battery station upgrades over there. Basically, if it, you'd think that when the power goes out, you can just fire off the plant. You can't. You got to have station service. You need to be able to excite those generators in order to charge them up and get them to run. So that's what the batteries are there for, give you station service. Annual plant maintenance shutdown 2022, we didn't see any major issues, right? So I'm going to put you on the spot, Dan. During the shutdown, what's that process look like?
The annual plant shutdown consists of dewatering, and we do a...
Explain the dewatering.
To dewater, we shut the main intake gate, so the water cannot come from the dam down to the power plant. We go inside, we look at all the turbines, we look at the wicket gates, we look at the penstock all the way up to the intake gate, we look at the generators. We pretty much do anything that we can get our hands on. We go and look, we measure, and we measure from year to year to find things that are wearing or things that are potentially as cracking. We found no major issues this year. Everything looked good, everything looked tight, and that's what we want. Everything was clean. It was a really good year for a shutdown.
Thank you. Also, the maintenance department, Dan is responsible for the maintenance crew. So our maintenance crew, every asset that you see in the village, from this complex to the water plant, sewer plant, pump stations, hydro plant.
Water, wastewater complex.
Yeah, so all of it is documented and it's put into a program we call e-maintenance. So e-maintenance will spit out daily work orders to get done. When I was the manager, I'd get monthly Reggie's time to buy birthday cake. I told him to put it in there, but I buy birthday cakes once a month. Bill, I'm still trying to teach him to do something nice, and he's working on it, so we'll figure this out. But anyway, so a lot of the, every asset out there is documented, recorded, and it's monthly, weekly, biannually, annually. So every asset that's not a surprise breakdown is planned, and we keep an eye on things. Yeah. Lynn, you want to talk to this, please? This covers the front office.
So in the front office, we have myself, and then I have a billing person, 2 customer service, and a staff accountant that also doubles as HR. And in that office, we handle about $12 million worth of money in a year's time. It was a little tricky with COVID, but we're back to our normal operating environment. We do customer service, we do all the utility billing for the village, our property taxes, payroll, HR, accounts payable, support for the grants that we get, budget and financial statement reconciliation for all of the departments in the village.
2022 year in review carryover. Mr. Sheets.
Thank you for giving me one slide in this presentation. I really appreciate it. No, it's good. So this is carryover stuff and current projects that we have going on that are going to be an impact, at least for this year, probably a little bit longer. Anyone here heard of the Riv, Hotel Riv? Perhaps remember it when it was a really awesome place. It's not so awesome anymore. So final stages, asbestos abatement and demolition should occur by April. We got a little bit of tier 1, tier 2, that bad stuff in the ground, mitigation, remediation to do. The plan will be for the trustees to craft an RFP that will go out to get it designed for somebody to come in for multi-purpose. We're not sure what it's going to look like yet. I'd love to say it's going to happen in this calendar year. Neil, if he's listening somehow, let's say it's going to happen this year, just in case. The bridge. So we'll go from the Riv and we'll work our way up. So the bridge has certain deficiencies. We met with Secretary of Transportation. The bridge is scheduled to be completely replaced in 2029. It's a little ways away. Joints on both sides, expansion joints, need to be repaired. There's no danger to the motoring public. It's just, it's noisy. We put out a bid for the repair work. Unfortunately, we got $200,000 in grant funding and the bid was over $300,000. I went to high-level math at Missisquoi and that tells me that doesn't compute. So we're going to go back out to bid. We're going to see if somebody can do it for a little bit less, or we're going to seek more money. We do not have that extra $100,000, $120,000 in this year's budget. The $200,000 is permissible to be used for 2 more funding cycles, so we're probably going to have to wait a year and take care of that. The most exciting project in my mind that's going to happen in the last 2 years, Reg and the team here did a $27,500 kind of exploratory study for how to improve pedestrian, biking, vehicular traffic in the downtown corridor. Now we got the real money to make something happen. $300,000 with a $75,000 match that we have, our requirement. We're using ARPA funds for it. We're going to reconnect with the public in many facets of this. It won't do everything that first committee wanted it to do, but we're going to do some enhanced signs, traffic patterns, things like that. So it should look a lot better, we're hoping. Reg talked about that 1.2 million river crossing. That's the way to do a bond, by the way, from the outside looking in. 1.2 million bond, 30 years, a lot of debt forgiveness, $19,000 a year is the bill, 0 increase in your water rates. Essentially free. Good bond. So that's going to happen in the spring. Notice all of these things are happening kind of simultaneously, so there's a lot going on. The Highgate Water Sewer to the airport, that's an ongoing project. We partnered with them. Highgate owns the entire infrastructure. We're just partnering. So that's going to be happening very soon. Actually very exciting for economic development down the road. Wastewater. You heard Reg talk about it. I won't kill you with it. But during the summer, we should identify the specific amount and the impact to our taxpayers next year for a bond and what that looks like. Probably a 30-year bond. Let's talk about the village complex here. So we sit here, this place, and this room looks pretty good. This is an old building, 45 years old. In some places, I'm going to show the picture, but I'm going to save that for later, of the rat, the decomposed mouse that was somehow left in his office. He didn't know about it, so I found it.
That was my pet. I was looking for that.
That was your pet. So here's what we're looking at. We're dusting off the 2019 Weeman-Lamphere Architectural Assessment for this place. We're going to use ARPA funds. The trustees approved that. And what we're looking to do is a couple things. We're going to look at how we can revitalize this footprint here without expanding the footprint, while also doing a feasibility study and determining if it's possible for us to do a public safety facility somewhere other than here. Love to tell you more. It's an executive session. We're closer than we think in terms of having maybe a place to do it. We're just not there publicly yet. But we'll explore it. So the trustees have signed off to say, let's work with the architect using ARPA funds, once in a lifetime opportunity to determine what that looks like, how much it'll cost, what the impact is. What I will tell you, and I don't want to go on too much of a stump speech, I'll save that for the upcoming year. is the facility space for the chief's department, for the police department, is woefully inadequate. And that is an area where I have a bit of expertise, since I did a tremendous number of building projects for the state police. I worked there for 30 years. I was the number 2 there for 11 years, and I did $85 million worth of construction projects there. They're gonna need some help. So we'll talk more about that. Same thing with the fire department. Then you can repurpose the space in here for public works, electric, admin, and we'll have a place where we can call home again for another 50 years. A little soapboxy there, sorry about that. So now let's get really soapboxy. Any questions up to this point? I love this audience. Special shout out to the room from Hog Island. A lot of Hog Islanders in the room. Special place. Okay, you sit for a second and click it. Click the next slide, please.
This just has candidates in the next slide.
Oh,
What'd you do to me?
We'll do that. Okay, we can do that
Want me
one.
to click fast?
No, we already covered that though.
This one?
Didn't we?
Candidates?
Okay, you go. Stand up again.
Okay.
What's the next one?
So the upcoming year, the village president, Neil Spear, is up for a 1-year term. He did text me today and asked me what I was doing. And I said, nothing. And then he said, well, I'm sitting on the beach. I said, so you're a son on a beach today, right? He said, yes, I am.
You don't have to laugh at that.
I chuckled when I thought about it today. Anyway, so the village clerk, Diane Day, is for a 1-year term as well. Village trustee, Adam Paxman, for a 3-year term. And Adam, you want to say a few words?
Just a few.
Okay.
So, yeah, Adam Paxman. Want to thank everybody for your support over the last 12 years. Hard to believe it's been 12 years. Reg and I came on board the same day 12 years ago. And I'd say I miss him. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
But again, thank you for your continued support. And, you know, it's very humbling to be in this position, you know, to be able to help the community grow and, you know, look in the future when, you know, when you're not around. So, not to be morbid, but it's, you know, it's very humbling. So, thank you very much.
Thanks, Adam. And collector delinquent taxes, Betty Cheney, is for a 1-year term.
Betty, you got anything for us?
I can, Betty Cheney, and I am running once again for delinquent tax collector for the town and the village. I appreciate everyone's support in the past, and we look for your support on Monday, or Tuesday, the 7th. Thank you.
And another Hog
So there was an article in the Messenger, called it my dream job. It must be true, it's in the Messenger. I really did actually say it. So it's a dream job because it doesn't happen, it doesn't open very often. I came out of a nice retirement consulting gig, not because I needed this job, because I wanted this job. And it's been everything I thought over the last 3 months, in particular because of the outstanding people, most specifically because of this dude right here. And don't do it to me. Don't tear up, romance. So please join me. I know he's had parties and stuff. Join me for a real true send-off if you would.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a relationship.
I gotta, yeah, I'm humbled, I guess. It's crazy. So March 3rd, I believe it is going to make full 12 years of doing this position. When I looked at this job, when I had the, I call it the privilege. This isn't a job, this is a privilege to be able to serve the village and the citizens of Swanton Village and the employees for these past 12 years. Yeah, I guess that's all I can say about that. I mean, this job has changed my life, and I'm hoping in a small way that I was able to change the lives of these employees and the citizens of Swanton. So it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
Reg, I just can't let you get by minimizing what you have meant to Swanton. And people are tired of hearing me talk, so I will just say, you've gone above and beyond, and thank you so much, and you will really be missed. But I know that you and Bill are a good team. And it isn't goodbye, it's so long.
Oh, you'll see me around. You'll see me around. But thank you all again. Thank you, Bill.
I gotta tell you, as a trustee, the last 12 years almost now, it was a real ride, really fun. I mean, we're not only are we lucky that we're all American citizens, we're lucky we live in Vermont, and we're lucky we live in Swanton. This is a great place. It's a great place to raise our kids, a great place just to live. It's safe, it's affordable, and we got the lake, we got the mountains, great friends, great neighbors. It's just fantastic. Anyway, we do have a little more here. This is public comment. If there's anything that anyone else would like to say or add?
Yep. In the audience tonight, and I hate to put him on the spot, but he's got to get used to that. We have the new representative for the Franklin 4 district. Is it still Franklin 4? Or is it
Franklin 4.
Franklin 4. Tom Oliver of Sheldon. I didn't know if you had any words to say what's going on in Montpelier.
I might be able to answer some questions. Maybe. I've got 8 weeks as a representative. I've been getting a lot of emails from everybody, a lot, in particular Swanton actually, and one of the big questions is wanting me, well, not questions, a statement, vote no on S4. I'm still not really sure what the real name of it is. It seems to keep evolving every day. There's been 11 changes, I think, to that bill so far. And I'm not even going to bother to read it until it crosses over and it's getting closer to done. I'm in judiciary. I do basically statute, and I'm on judicial retention, so we're just hiring 13 judges right now. We've done the chief justices and 8 other lawyers, or judges. Other laws, bills, any questions on any? I've heard a lot about the state college libraries, some from Swanton. The legislature right now, I don't believe is going to take any of that on. What else is going on? That's really in my purview that I see. There's a lot going on with victim witness advocates, restorative justice, criminal justice. The academy is doing some new things. CJCs, which is community justice centers, are trying to get away from conventional punishments. Try to do more of a restorative line. I'm on the website. If you ever have any questions, you want to ask something or try to get me to find out, I can do it. Feel free to email me. Not hard. He knows how to find it.
Tom, we may be tapping you to come with us to sit with the governor to talk about our hydro relicensing at one point.
Yes.
Is that, if we can't get how we're operating today, moving forward, it's going to devastate the utilities.
Yeah. Sure.
In multiple communities,
Yeah.
not just Swanton,
Well, they're gonna
but
have to do something, it sounds like.
Highgate.
So any support you guys can give us over there? that'd be
absolutely.
helpful. Okay.
Good deal.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
In the present form, would you vote for the climate action bill, or whatever the name of it is this week? Thank you.
Chance.
Thank you.
Do you have any information on the juvenile detention center that they're talking about?
In St. Albans?
In St. Albans?
I do. I don't know all the logistics of it. It's a minimal number of beds. It's for very high-risk youth. For temporary stay, I think 10 to 15 days max. Half a dozen people. So it's supposed to be on Lower Newton Road, where the prison is. When you turn into the prison driveway, it'll be right on the right in that farm field, the end of dairy field. That's all I know about it right now. It's supposed to be modular buildings. They're not supposed to be able to see the prison's not supposed to be able to see
inside of that facility.
Would that be temporary, or are they looking at that as?
It's a temporary shut-up for now. Yeah, the only other thing they have going on for juveniles, which is horribly needed, is way up in Newberry, in the sticks. And it's also a small facility, and not for high risk.
Interesting.
Good, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
You got a question?
Yeah, sure. Just a random question about ARPA, right? What are your thoughts on the bill banning fusion candidates from running in elections and having people stand with one party? Just curious.
Okay. I haven't heard much about it yet. It's just out hitting the floor and getting exposure. I don't know that much about it. A lot of talk developed on it today, that I know. I haven't come up with an opinion yet, but it seems a little strange.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that supportive of it.
Okay, thank you, and thank you. Is there any other necessary business, town or village?
Yes, we have one
Yep.
item that we have to.
Yeah, you're not gonna close your meeting, gotcha.
It'll be very brief.
Yeah. And there's no need for an executive session, I'm sure?
No.
Is there additional comment? I guess this is a regular meeting, correct? This
Yes.
You can do so.
Yeah.
Public comment, I've got one thing I can make comment to, or I guess I
Yep, Mr. Cheney, sure.
Sean Cheney, resident of Swanton Town, I also own properties in Swanton Village. Myself and my family have about 38 rentals in Swanton. I'm glad you brought up the electric piece of that too, because that's definitely a factor. I want to thank James, I know he's on his way out here. Thank you for all the service you've done, as well as all that you've done for us, Reg, and everybody on the boards through the years, and the police and the fire and all the support that they give us. You brought up the affordability of Swanton Electric, and as a real estate broker here in town, it is a great avenue for me to be able to bring people and really push Swanton itself out there. How many people on the board have children? How many in general? Most have children, right? We also understand that when they get of age, say let's call it 18 and older, we're not actually responsible for their financial well-being, although many of us probably end up carrying them for many years to come, but we're not actually on the hook for them financially, right? We're not required to pay for their well-being, so when they go out in the world and they take on a mortgage or they take on a car payment and they default on that, you as their parents are not actually held accountable for that. However, as a landlord in Swanton, it's very difficult for me to operate, and it's also very difficult for me as a real estate broker to bring additional landlords into town when we are liened for any electric bills that the tenants don't pay. We're actually required to pay their electric bills even when they don't pay them. So in order to keep rates affordable, I understand that this has been voted on in the past, and I recall the vote on it was probably 5 or 6 years ago when it was put out, and it was put out worded very well for keeping it in place, and the fact that if you have town landlords and village landlords that are in Swanton Electric pay for the bills that are outstanding for your tenants, this will help keep your bills low in Swanton Electric. So it was worded very well to hold that in place. Another way it could have been worded is we're going to hold a small demographic accountable for another larger demographic that doesn't pay their bills at all. Some of the issues we have with it is that A, we're not even allowed to access those bills unless that tenant signs off on it. So we're held accountable for something that we're actually not even allowed to access, both water, sewer, and electric. I cannot access that bill. However, I'm required to not only be on the hook for it, but I'm gonna have to keep it in place too. I can't have any control over how much usage they have in the process. They can use as much electric as they want, and I can't turn it off at any time. But I'm also required to pay for that when it's all said and done as well. So I just ask that maybe we relook at the fact that why is it that a landlord is required to pay the electric bills for a tenant that doesn't pay theirs? When if we're not required to pay our own children's way forward, although we created them, why is a landlord required to pay the electric bills for somebody who's outstanding and chooses not to pay theirs? Because there's no other bill that I'm aware of. Trash bill doesn't come after a landlord. Comcast doesn't come after a landlord. No auto payment goes after a landlord. any other service provider doesn't go after a landlord except for Swanton Electric and Swanton Water Sewer. So I just ask that we maybe reconsider looking at that, and any comment that you have that could help enlighten me as to why we're on the hook for somebody else's bill without having the ability to monitor it and having the ability to even allow how much usage is there. However, I am required to provide that. I am required to provide those utilities, the water, sewer, and electric, to the tenant.
So I think we could probably offer some clarification.
One way around getting the tenant, the ability to get the usage is as part of your lease, make them, it's stipulated in the lease that they have to sign the release. That's one. I know there are some landlords that get a security deposit strictly for the electric. We're not the only utility in Vermont that does it. Most of the municipal electrics lean.
Burlington Electric doesn't.
That's a choice that they've made, but a lot of us smaller ones. Before we started leaning, we were writing off tens of thousands of dollars a year. And we go above and beyond. I mean, we're calling these customers, we're going out and shutting them off. It's not like we sit here and not shut them off. We shut them off. The problem is the state has specific rules that we have to abide by in order to shut off electricity. And these customers know the rules. And if we pick up at all, we're getting called under fire by the Public Utilities Commission. So there's a lot of stuff that we can't do. The programs that were out there during COVID, we had a lot of customers, both renters and homeowners, that did the VRAP, the VCAP, the VHFA programs, and we brought in a lot of money, and we got a lot of customers' accounts down. I don't know how many, do you remember, Diane, how many, it was well over 40,000 just in the VCAP program that we got.
Yes.
I mean, and these are customers that would have been delinquent, and some of them rightfully, they lost their jobs and stuff during that, and other ones were our customers that don't like to pay their bill. But we were reaching out to customers, we were helping customers fill out the applications, trying to go above and beyond what we really were obligated to do to get money in the door for these customers and get the bills paid up.
So I think back, when was it? I think it was back in 2015 maybe?
2009.
Huh?
2009, we did, yeah. It was a
Okay.
charter change.
That was prior to me. But we had a meeting with landlords on that same issue that you're giving to us, Sean, about that agreement that the tenants would have to sign that gives you privy to their bills. So that there is a form that we can give you to have your tenants sign, so you can see their power bills and their light bills.
Correct, but if they don't sign that, I don't have access to it in any way, shape, or form, but I'm still on the hook for it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the hook no matter what for that. But that's the only utility that we're on the hook for as a landlord, and I'm not able to change it, and I have to provide it. So we try to provide affordable housing. We want to. I think most slumlords, because people like to use that term a lot, are not born, they're created. And these are the type of policies that create that type of situation. What's going to end up happening is we're going to make housing unaffordable, because we're going to end up raising rents to offset the fees that we're having handed to us. And you said before that we have spikes in the morning and spikes in the evening, which means we're a bedroom community, right? Although we do have a lot of business here in town, we're primarily a bedroom community. And with that, we're going to make it unaffordable to live here, because landlords are going to be required to raise those rents, and they're going to push people out of this community, and they're going to end up going somewhere else, which is not what I think we want. But to require that one small demographic pays for a larger demographic doesn't seem to fit well, especially when, well, if we look, the only option you have to vote on that is being a village resident. And many of these landlords don't live in the village, many live in the town or other towns. And there's a very large offset if you take the total number of people that live in the village that are tenants, they have a large say in that. And if I knew that I didn't need to pay my electric bill at all, and you're not going to come after me for it, because you don't go after them, you don't put it on their credit report,
Yes,
you don't chase them down the road.
We turn it over to a credit
Collection.
Bill recovery company. And
Then
they
why
do-
am I on the hook for it after with a lien on my property
We
if you
do
hand it off to
both.
a collections company?
We do it both ways. We put the lien on, but we also turn it over to a collection agency. And they put it on their credit report.
Sean, without providing a dollar amount, what do you think the percentage of impact it is, percentage of overall tenants over the last 5 years, where this has impacted you?
Yeah, I have probably a vicinity of $8,000 or $10,000 that it's cost me in the last, say, well, less than that, probably 5 to 6 years.
Okay. I say we continue this conversation, we have a dialogue, we hear you, we appreciate the passion, and let's follow up.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, duly noted. Thank you, Sean. Any other comments needed? With that, I think we'll conclude the joint meeting, and I'll ask the trustees for a motion to adjourn, and second it. And I believe the town has further business, so I'll let them conclude with what they have, and I'll thank you all for coming this evening. And please vote and get your neighbors to vote. What it means to us, or to me as a trustee, is that it's a motion or a notion that we're doing a good job and that things are going and going well. People say, well, if they don't show up, must be they're not upset. Well, that's not really always true. It looks great to see a good turnout for a vote, to stand behind our candidates and stand behind our work for the year. So a large turnout on Tuesday, March 7th, 7 to 7, right here in this building, would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Chris.
All right. So what, I had sent this out by email and you have it in front of you. We need just to amend the minutes of the January 17th, 2023 meeting to make it more clear as to the motion that was made to spend the funds out of ARPA to build the new website. And this is to satisfy an audit requirement down the road if we should get audited.
All right.
So that's what this simply is, and can be found on the YouTube at 34 minutes and 33 seconds into that meeting.
I'll entertain a motion to amend the minutes.
Move, Steve.
I'll second. Need a second. All right, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. I think that's it, right? Any other comments for the town? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second it. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. There. Good evening, folks. Thank you very much, everybody.